I tried to do that once to float like a cork, and Great Salt Lake was just a little too gross for my liking. All right, but let's dive into this forecast, shall we? First, I want to show you guys this time lapse from our Black Desert Resort down in Ivins. This is our Skycam catching that billowing smoke from the Forsyth fire down in that area, pumping a lot of particulate matter into the atmosphere across the state. Now, we do have a red flag warning in effect for parts of eastern Utah. That includes the East Uinta Basin and Book Cliffs. That would also include places like Vernal, Moab, and Green River. Humidity as low as 7 to 12% with gusts up to 40 miles an hour are going to be possible. And this is in effect until 8 p.m. tomorrow. Here's another time lapse. This is coming out of Bryce Canyon, just outside of Ruby's Inn. You could see the smoke really plowing through, really low air quality. Unfortunately, lots of smoke, and that's going to be actually moving up here in the north as we speak. You can see that here in our future smoke. Places like Davis County have moderate air quality right now. The West Desert battling a lot of smoke. It's going to clear out a little bit as we get through the rest of the night, but it's still going to be around, really hugging I-15 along the West Desert as we get into Tuesday morning. Then the winds start to shift by Tuesday afternoon, and it blows that smoke just a little bit more towards the northeast. So a lot of the Wasatch Front will escape the thicker plumes of smoke, but down in southern Utah, places like Cedar City, Beaver, Delta, Nephi, all looking at a much thicker smoke, especially towards the eastern portion of the state. They're going to be battling that wildfire smoke for the foreseeable future. Temperatures right now are dropping. We're in the 60s across most of the state, a couple of 70s in the eastern portion. We're at 67 degrees here in Salt Lake City, 50s in Wyoming, and then 85 degrees in St. George. Still pretty warm down there. Our futurecast, it doesn't have much going on. That's because we have high pressure in place, and that's keeping us pretty dry. As we get into tomorrow, we are going to have a system skim us just to the east. We could have a couple of light showers in eastern Nevada, but not enough to break this drought. And then as we get into Wednesday afternoon, the Uintas could pick up on that moisture as well, getting a couple of showers. But again, not really anything that's going to help us out in the moisture department. So we have this cool air mass in place right now, but it's already warming up, especially with this southerly flow that we're seeing today, and it's going to get even warmer. We have high pressure that's going to build, and that high pressure ridge brings very calm conditions, which means it will stay dry, but it'll also stay hot. It's going to act as a storm block, keeping that storm to the north of us. But for the most part, we're just going to be dry. That's just the moral of the story here. It's just going to be dry and it's going to be hot, and that's bad news for the fire risk. Our regional forecast for tomorrow shows we're going to be in the 80s for most of us, about 10 degrees warmer up here in the north than it was today. We have a couple of 90s in the eastern side of the state, 94 degrees for the Four Corners region and Bluff, Lake Powell at 94, and St. George also reaching 94 degrees for tomorrow. There is some smoke in St. George for tomorrow, and it's warming on up. Triple digits returning by Thursday, and it only gets warmer from there, guys. By the weekend, we're going to be warming up to 106 and then 108 degrees for a daytime high to kick off the work week. The Wasatch Front in the 80s for your Tuesday and Wednesday, warming up to the 90s to close out the work week. And then we hang on in the mid-90s through the weekend, and we could be hitting 100 degrees yet again by your Monday. So ultimately, it's dry and it's hot. Make sure you're careful, especially if you have any fireworks, and be careful where you park. All right, we're going to be right back after the break with sports.